The massive quantum communication array hummed with an intensity that made the monitoring technicians pause. Commander June Park leaned forward, his eyes fixed on the flickering holographic display that danced with fragments of an alien transmission. The signal was unlike anything Earth had ever received. Broken images cascaded across the screens, burning planetary landscapes, massive ships consuming entire star systems, and desperate beings fleeing from an unstoppable predator. Static crackled between each desperate burst of communication. Dr. Yuri Choi's fingers moved rapidly across her digital interface, filtering and analyzing the incoming data. Her breath caught in her throat as she realized the magnitude of what they were witnessing. Multiple alien civilizations were facing complete and total annihilation. "This isn't just a distress call," she whispered to herself, her voice barely audible above the humming equipment. "This is a last desperate cry for survival." The transmission originated from a distant cluster of star systems, approximately 3.7 million light-years from Earth. Sophisticated tracking systems mapped the origin, revealing a complex network of dying civilizations trapped in what appeared to be a systematic extermination. Commander Park stood motionless, his military training allowing him to process the information with calculated precision. Years of space exploration and diplomatic training had prepared him for unusual scenarios, but this was different. This was a call that demanded more than diplomatic intervention. The alien transmission showed horrifying scenes of destruction. Ships burned in the endless darkness of space. Entire planetary ecosystems collapsed under the weight of an aggressive, seemingly unstoppable force. Fragments of alien languages mixed with universal distress signals, creating a haunting symphony of desperation. "We need to analyze every single fragment," Park instructed the team. "Nothing can be overlooked." Dr. Choi nodded, her fingers dancing across multiple holographic interfaces. Advanced translation algorithms worked overtime, attempting to piece together the complex communication. Slowly, a narrative began to emerge. The attacking force, identified through fragmented communications as the Vorax, appeared to be a ruthless civilization dedicated to systematic elimination of potential competing species. Their technology was advanced, their strategy cold and calculated. They didn't just conquer, they completely eradicated. Hours passed. The monitoring station became a hive of intense activity. Military strategists, xenolinguists, and computer experts worked in perfect synchronization. Each new decoded fragment revealed more about the impending galactic catastrophe. The alien civilizations under attack were not warriors. They were researchers, diplomats, scientists, beings who had evolved past conflict and believed in peaceful coexistence. Their technology, while advanced, was designed for exploration and understanding, not survival against a predatory force. Commander Park understood immediately what this meant. These civilizations were asking for more than just help. They were asking for salvation. "We're the only potential response," he muttered, understanding the implicit message hidden within the transmission. Earth, with its complex history of conflict and rapid technological advancement, represented their final hope. The quantum array continued receiving fragments. Each burst of information painted a more desperate picture. Entire planetary populations were being systematically eliminated. Billions of lives hung in the balance. Dr. Choi's latest decryption revealed something unexpected. The alien civilizations weren't just sending a distress signal. They were providing comprehensive data about the Vorax, their technological weaknesses, potential strategic vulnerabilities, and migration patterns. It was a complete dossier of survival, encrypted and transmitted across impossible distances, hoping someone, anyone, would receive and understand. Commander Park made a decision that would change humanity's trajectory forever. This was no longer just a communication event. This was a call to action. "Initiate global communication protocols," he commanded. "This transmission goes to every major government and military installation on Earth." The monitoring station fell silent. The holographic displays continued showing fragments of destruction, hope, and desperate survival. Somewhere in the vast darkness of space, Civilizations waited, their entire existence balanced on the potential response of a species they had never met. Humanity's first true test of galactic responsibility had begun. The quantum array continued, humming, carrying fragments of a message that would rewrite the understanding of human potential and our place in the universe. The world changed within hours of receiving the alien transmission. Government buildings worldwide transformed into emergency command centers. Military complexes that once competed now worked with unprecedented cooperation. Admiral Sung Ha stood in the central command room, his weathered hands moving across digital interfaces. Maps of global resources, military capabilities, and technological innovations flickered around him. The typical bureaucratic hesitation vanished, replaced by a singular focused energy. "We're not just preparing a defense," he told his team. "We're designing a response that will protect not just Earth, but an entire network of civilizations." Factories that once produced consumer electronics and automobile parts quickly retooled. Automated production lines began manufacturing components for advanced spacecraft. Engineers who had spent years developing theoretical propulsion systems now worked around the clock, turning impossible designs into reality. In research facilities across continents, scientists like Dr. Yuri Choi analyzed every fragment of the alien transmission. They weren't just studying the data. They were preparing technological adaptations that could transform human military potential. Quantum computing centers worked at maximum capacity. Advanced AI systems began simulating potential combat scenarios against the Vorax. Each simulation revealed humanity's unexpected advantages: adaptability, creative problem-solving, and a complex understanding of strategic warfare. Military academies suspended regular training. Veteran commanders and young tactical experts began intensive, collaborative sessions. They studied the fragmented data about the Vorax, understanding that traditional warfare concepts would need complete reimagining. Universities worldwide redirected research funding. Physics departments explored quantum weapon concepts. Engineering teams developed modular spacecraft designs that could rapidly adapt to unknown combat environments. Medical researchers prepared treatments for potential alien biological encounters. The global economic system underwent a remarkable transformation. Stock markets stabilized as governments redirected resources. Private technology companies that once competed now shared research. Space exploration budgets tripled overnight. Communication networks expanded. Satellites designed for global positioning were rapidly modified to support potential deep space communication and tracking. Quantum encryption technologies developed for secure financial transactions now became critical for potential military communications. Recruitment centers saw unprecedented activity. Young professionals from diverse backgrounds, programmers, engineers, medical experts, and military personnel volunteered for potential space mission training. The typical career paths dissolved, replaced by a collective mission of potential galactic defense. Nuclear power plants and advanced energy research facilities began developing compact, high-efficiency power systems suitable for prolonged space missions. Solar technology teams worked alongside quantum energy researchers, creating power solutions that could support extended military operations. Agricultural research centers prepared sustainable food production methods for potential long-duration space missions. Nutritionists and biological engineers developed compact, nutrient-dense food systems that could support human life in extreme conditions. Psychological research teams studied potential human responses to extended space missions and alien encounters. They developed training programs to help potential space crews maintain mental resilience in unprecedented scenarios. Transportation infrastructure underwent massive modifications. Ports, airports, and communication centers were subtly redesigned to support potential rapid military mobilization. Underground facilities that were once considered Cold War relics were quickly updated with modern technology. Diplomatic channels opened with unprecedented speed. United Nations emergency sessions replaced traditional bureaucratic procedures with rapid decision-making protocols. Countries that had historical tensions now discussed potential collaborative space defense strategies. The typical human tendency towards division disappeared. National identities merged into a collective human identity: the alien transmission. had done what decades of global diplomacy could not: create a truly unified human response. Within 72 hours of receiving the transmission, humanity transformed. From a planet of competing nations, it became a potential galactic defensive force. The preparation was not just military, it was a comprehensive reimagining of human potential. Admiral Sung Ha looked at the final mobilization reports. What had started as a mysterious alien transmission had become humanity's most significant evolutionary moment. "We are ready," he whispered, knowing that those words carried weight beyond any single nation or individual. The mobilization was complete. Humanity waited, prepared to face whatever challenges the universe might present. The massive human fleet emerged from quantum tunnels like a metallic thunderstorm. Space itself seemed to ripple with their arrival, a sudden intrusion that defied conventional understanding of movement and time. Captain Yoon Kim stood on the bridge of the lead vessel, her hand steady on the tactical interface. Around her, holographic displays showed real-time data streaming from advanced sensor networks. The Vorax fleet, expecting easy prey, found themselves confronted by something entirely unexpected. The alien predator ships were massive, kilometer-long structures designed for systematic destruction. They moved with a cold, calculated precision that had eliminated countless civilizations. Their weapon systems were built for total annihilation, not defense. Humanity's response was nothing like the previous civilizations the Vorax had encountered. The first wave of human ships moved with a synchronicity that seemed almost organic. Each vessel operated as part of a larger intelligent network. AI-assisted combat systems made calculations faster than any biological brain could process. "Target their primary communication networks," Captain Kim ordered. Her voice was calm, almost clinical. Quantum-encrypted laser systems fired with pinpoint accuracy. The Vorax communication arrays began to disintegrate before their own sensors could fully register the attack. It was a surgical strike that removed their ability to coordinate. Within moments, the battlefield transformed. The Vorax, used to overwhelming their targets through sheer destructive power, found themselves systematically dismantled. Human ships moved like living things, adapting, repositioning, attacking from angles that defied traditional combat logic. Dr. Yuri Choi's tactical algorithms worked in perfect harmony with human intuition. The ships weren't just following pre-programmed routines, they were learning and adapting in real time. Each successful attack became data for the next strategic move. The Vorax fleet began to fragment. Their massive ships, once symbols of unstoppable destruction, now looked like wounded animals. They tried traditional attack patterns: overwhelming force, concentrated energy weapons, massive structural assaults. Nothing worked. Human vessels used a combination of technologies that seemed to break the fundamental rules of space combat. Quantum shielding absorbed energy attacks. Adaptive hull configurations changed molecular structures to resist damage. Weapon systems that combined plasma, gravitational manipulation, and quantum disruption tore through Vorax defenses. Smaller, human support ships moved with incredible speed, acting like a swarm of intelligent predators. They attacked weak points, disrupted energy systems, and created chaos within the Vorax fleet's carefully structured attack formations. Commander June Park watched the battle unfold from the central command station. This wasn't just a military engagement. This was a demonstration of human potential, adaptability, creativity, and an unexpected capacity for complex strategic thinking. The initial engagement lasted merely 17 minutes. When it ended, the Vorax had lost 63% of their primary battle group. Their most advanced ships were reduced to floating debris. Entire command structures had been completely eliminated. Communication intercepts revealed something unexpected. The Vorax were experiencing something they had never encountered before: genuine fear. Their tactical systems couldn't comprehend the human approach. The attacks didn't follow any predictable pattern. They combined technological innovation with a level of unpredictability that seemed almost biological. Rescue pods from damaged Vorax ships sent desperate communications, but there would be no rescue. The human fleet had already begun systematic elimination of potential threat sources. Captain Kim's final tactical report was brutally simple. Threat neutralized, minimal human losses. The alien civilizations watching the transmission could barely process what they had witnessed. A species they had never directly encountered had just performed a military intervention that redefined the concept of galactic warfare. As the human fleet began systematic cleanup of the battle zone, something became clear. This was more than a military engagement. This was humanity's first true introduction to the galactic community, and they had made an absolutely terrifying first impression. The galaxy watched in stunned silence. Alien civilizations observed as humanity transformed from an unknown species to a force of unprecedented capability. The first battle had been decisive, but this was about more than military power. Commander June Park understood the deeper strategy. This wasn't just about destroying the Vorax, it was about sending a message that would echo through galactic history. Vorax leadership assembled in their most secure communication chamber. Their best strategists reviewed the battle data, searching for any weakness, any possibility of understanding the human approach. But there was nothing familiar in the human tactics. They broke every known rule of space combat. One senior Vorax strategist muttered, his multiple neural interfaces flickering with confusion. The holographic displays showed human ships moving in patterns that defied traditional military logic. Intelligence reports that had once categorized humans as primitive and technologically limited now looked like catastrophic miscalculations. Each new analysis revealed layers of human potential that the Vorax had completely misunderstood. Dr. Yuri Choi's team continued analyzing captured Vorax technology. What they discovered was both terrifying and fascinating. The human approach wasn't just about superior weapons, it was about complete systemic understanding and rapid adaptation. Quantum communication networks began lighting up across multiple star systems. The alien civilizations that had sent the original distress call now watched their unexpected saviors with a mixture of terror and hope. The human fleet didn't just destroy. They began systematic reconstruction of the damaged planetary systems. Support ships carried advanced repair technologies. Medical teams prepared treatments for populations devastated by the Vorax attacks. Captain Yoon Kim oversaw the initial reconstruction efforts. Her tactical mind now focused on diplomatic and humanitarian strategies. The military intervention was transforming into something more complex, a comprehensive rescue and restoration mission. Vorax colonies began to receive unexpected transmissions. Instead of continued military assault, humans offered something entirely different, a chance to surrender, to negotiate, to understand. It was the approach so alien to the Vorax that their communication systems struggled to process it. Advanced AI systems translated human communications. The messages were clear: complete cessation of aggressive activities, potential for peaceful negotiation, opportunities for technological exchange. It was a diplomatic approach that seemed to contradict everything the Vorax understood about conflict. Intelligence gathering revealed the true depth of human preparation. The first battle was just the beginning. Entire research networks had been activated. Every piece of Vorax technology was being studied, understood, potentially adapted. Military facilities on Earth continued their relentless preparation. The first engagement had proven humanity's capabilities, but leadership understood this was likely just the first of many potential conflicts. Admiral Sung Ha's strategic reports highlighted a critical point. This wasn't just a military intervention. This was humanity's first true introduction to galactic politics. Every action would be watched, analyzed, potentially defining human potential for generations. The alien civilizations that had sent the original distress call began providing additional information. Star charts, technological databases, historical records. Everything they had was shared with human research teams. What emerged was a complex picture. Humanity wasn't just a military force. They were problem solvers, adaptable beings with an unprecedented capacity for understanding and growth. Vorax leadership realized something terrifying. They weren't just facing a military threat. They were confronting a species that could potentially reshape entire galactic structures. Commander Park's final strategic assessment was simple but profound. "We're not here to destroy," he told his command team. "We're here to protect, and to demonstrate that protection isn't about overwhelming force, it's about understanding." The turning point wasn't the battle. It was the moment humanity showed the galaxy that military power could be combined with genuine compassion. The Vorax had chosen the wrong species to challenge. Humanity was about to show them exactly why they were called Deathworlders. The final battle was less a conflict and more a demonstration of human resolve. Space itself seemed to tremble as the human fleet assembled. A massive constellation of technological precision that defied traditional understanding of military power. Quantum weapon systems charged with an energy that made nearby stars seem dim. Commander June Park watched the holographic displays, his fingers moving with surgical precision across tactical interfaces. This wasn't just about defeating the Vorax. This was about sending a message that would echo through galactic history. The Vorax had gathered their remaining forces, a desperate last stand of what had once been a seemingly unstoppable civilization. Their massive warships formed a complex defensive formation, weapons charged to maximum capacity. They believed this would be their moment of redemption. They were wrong. Human ships moved like a living organism. Each vessel communicated faster than the speed of thought, adapting, repositioning, attacking from angles that seemed to break the fundamental laws of space combat. Artificial intelligence systems worked in perfect harmony with human intuition, creating a combat approach that was both brutally efficient and almost beautiful in its complexity. Captain Yoon Kim's tactical team had spent months studying every fragment of Vorax technology. Their preparation was comprehensive. They didn't just understand the enemy. They could predict their every possible move with mathematical precision. The first wave of attacks turned entire Vorax battle formations into cosmic dust. Energy weapons that could destroy entire planetary systems were neutralized before they could be fully charged. Massive warships that had eliminated countless civilizations became nothing more than floating debris within moments. Dr. Yuri Choi watched from the research vessel, her analysis systems working at maximum capacity. This wasn't just a military engagement. This was the moment humanity defined its place in the galactic ecosystem. Vorax communication networks collapsed. Their sophisticated AI systems, once considered the pinnacle of technological achievement, were systematically dismantled by human quantum encryption algorithms. It was like watching a complex machine being taken apart by a surgeon's hand. The alien civilizations watching the transmission could barely comprehend what they were witnessing. A species they had barely known existed was performing a level of military intervention that redefined the concept of space warfare. Rescue pods from damaged Vorax ships sent desperate communications. But there would be no negotiation. The human fleet had determined that the Vorax represented a systemic threat to galactic stability. Commander Park's final tactical assessment was brutally simple: complete neutralization of aggressive capabilities. As the battle concluded, something unexpected happened. Human support ships began systematic reconstruction of the damaged star systems. Medical teams prepared to treat populations devastated by years of Vorax aggression. Research vessels began collecting technological data that could help rebuild entire civilizations. The alien coalition that had originally sent the distress call watched in stunned silence. Their saviors were not just a military force. They were a complex civilization that understood protection was more than just eliminating threats. Admiral Sung Ha's final report captured the essence of the intervention. We came. We understood. We protected. The Vorax leadership, what remained of it, realized something terrifying. They had not just been defeated. They had been completely and systematically eliminated as a threat to galactic stability. Dr. Choi's final research report was chillingly simple: Deathworlders activated, threat neutralized. Alien Ambassador Kira could only whisper one phrase that would echo through galactic history. They came. They saw. They conquered. But it was more than conquest. It was a demonstration of humanity's true potential, a species that could combine overwhelming military capability with a genuine understanding of protection and restoration. The galaxy would never be the same. Humanity had arrived.